Welcome back to Bay Area Housewife of True Crime, where I like to tell the stories of the real cucuys and lloronas of the world. We are at part 3 of the Gwen Araujo case. As a reminder, topics may be triggering. Viewer and listener discretion is strongly advised. The people mentioned are innocent until proven guilty in court. During the first trial of the murder of Gwen Araujo and her funeral and memorial, there were protesters, specifically fundamentalist Reverend Fred Phelps from Topeka, Kansas. He has a lovely website called, and I quote, godhatesfags.com, which is still very active to this day. Even at the first trial, the defense placed blame on the victim, Gwen, saying that she was wearing promiscuous outfits, even though she was still underage. Michael Maggetson's attorney, Michael Thorman, told reporters and the court, and I quote, Eddie Araujo, dead name, unfortunately was killed, but he was not singled out because of his sexual orientation or his gender. In a Hayward, California courtroom, Jaron Neighbors pleaded not guilty. Jose Morel told the court that he was still reviewing the evidence against him. Jose Morel told the Los Angeles Times that he was certain the charges would be dismissed. Michael Maggetson was still looking for a criminal defense attorney. In a letter to his girlfriend written from jail, Jaron Neighbors elaborated about a, quote, soprano-type plan to kill the bitch and get rid of her body. The letter was intercepted by the sheriffs, and common, you stupid piece of shit, when you are in jail, all of your letters coming and going, coming in and out are read. The calls you make from jail are recorded. Either he was that dumb, or maybe he did it on purpose to implicate another person. Jason Casares had only been listed as a witness on October 22nd of 2002. After the officers read the letter where Jaron mentioned being with Jason Casares on the night of the murder, he was subsequently arrested on November 19th, 2002. Jaron Neighbors had already agreed to testify against his, quote, friends in exchange for a lighter sentence of voluntary manslaughter, which carried an 11-year sentence. As such, on February 24th, 2003, Jaron Neighbors pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter. On October 25th, 2006, Jaron Neighbors was sentenced to 11 years in prison. Keep in mind, while the two trials for this case were ongoing, he was sitting in prison the entire time, and with credit for time served, would be expected out in approximately 5 years. The first trial for the murder of Gwen Amber Rose Araujo began on April 14, 2004. Everyone in the Hayward courtroom dead named Gwen. If you're not familiar with what dead naming is, as Elise Myers would say, great question, I would love to tell you. Dead naming someone is when you use their birth name or use the wrong pronouns when referring to an individual, specifically to someone who has transitioned. Judge Harry Shepard excused over half of the 100 prospective jurors, including 2 women with poor English skills. The prosecutor, Chris, said in his opening statement, and I quote, The wages of Eddie Araujo, dead name, Araujo's deception were death, unquote. Michael Maggotson's defense attorney argued that he should be charged as voluntary manslaughter because his client had been shocked beyond reason to learn that he unknowingly had relations with the, quote, man, unquote. Jaron Neighbors testified that he felt that his friends had been raped because dead name Eddie, actually Gwen, quote, did not come clean with being what she really was. And of course, Jaron Neighbors refers to her as he. And felt his friends had been raped through Gwen's deception. And when asked about how she forced them, he said through deception. Which is mind-boggling to me because it was them, the men, and Nicole Brown who sexually assaulted Gwen through forcing her to show them her private areas, her private parts, her genitalia, whatever you want to call it. They were the ones who sexually assaulted her. After 9 days of deliberation, an Alameda County jury were unable to agree on a verdict. Therefore, on June 22nd of 2004, the trial ended as a mistrial. The jurors agreed that Gwen had been murdered. They could not agree, however, on whether or not it was premeditated. And what do you mean not premeditated? There are 3 elements to premeditation. 1, the intent to kill. 2, deliberation. And 3, planning. This was proven with the talks about how if they found out if she was a man, something bad would happen in the weeks before killing her. On October 3rd, 2002, Gwen attended another house party with the 4 cucuys in the Newark home, and that's when Jose Morel said, and I quote, "I swear if it's a fucking man, I'm going to kill him. If it's a man, she ain't gonna leave," unquote. And even before then, when Nicole Brown and Amber had the altercation and they said that she fought like, quote, a boy, and furthermore, even so, when they made fun of her for wearing choker necklaces in order, supposedly they were accusing her of wanting to hide her Adam's apple. And the day after the mistrial, Gwen's mom, Sylvia, had her name changed after death to reflect her true identity.